when's the feeling most true? Loose with the truth, baby, it's your fire. Baby, I hope you don't get burned. When the smoke has cleared, she said, it's what she said to me. Gonna wanna bed to lay your head. There are things you can't replace, and others you cannot. Time has come to weigh those things. This space is getting hot. You know this space is getting hot. Hold up, feet, I'm a rolling sand. I was born to be a bachelor. Alpine told me, okay, that's fine. You know now I'm trying to catch her. Can't talk to you without talking to me. Guilty of the same old thing. Thinking a lot about less and less, and forgetting the love we bring.
Here I'm shaking my table, and you see the microphone move and the download. But they're all connected now. This has been a multiple-year process getting that to work, so y'all maybe don't care, but I do. Then the other thing is, I found out that you can use OBS with a MIDI controller, so I now am able to control this here. Like maybe the music is a little bit too loud. Ooh, turn the music down, turn it back up, turn it down. So I'm now able to use.
What was your force field?
Or I can mute the music, so now there's no music playing. I know this is ridiculous, but I'm pretty excited. And saving the money of buying like an Elgato stream capture, whatever it's called. Whatever their little button thingy is. So that's wild. I will turn the music down a little bit because I don't have a good sense yet for how loud or not it is. So that's the technology. Both of those are very exciting things. the next step in terms of tech is I have a couple ideas. I want to make the transitions cooler and maybe add some stingers or whatever, but that will take some time, and I ran out of time to do that before this. So let's switch over to the computer, and here we have the typical just terminal. Let me open up a web browser to tell a couple stories about what's been going on. So like I said, I've basically forgotten entirely how to use JavaScript, but what I mean by that is that I haven't touched wander text in 6 weeks. So if I look at the Git log, my last commit was June 1st. So you tell me when June 1st was. I think it's 6 weeks ago. Or maybe even 7 weeks ago. In the meantime, I've been working on a couple other things. One is the anti-rubber sheeter that I am trying to get to work with. It's gotten very complicated. Whoops. I'm not going to bother with this. It's gotten very complicated because the back end is rather tricky with the anti-rubber sheeter project, and I should maybe do a whole stream just about that once it actually launches, where I can talk about what it is, etc. And then that way there will be some what I call accidental content that walks through that sort of thing. The other thing has been the original Studio Remote project, which was the Rose Hall project, and that I can definitely give a little sneak peek of. Let's let it fire up. So I'm not sure that much of what one sees here has changed since May, or maybe even since the last time I showed this. But one huge change is that this shouldn't say tooltip. That's a little bit broken. I'm implementing this like glossary type thing here where you may not be able to see it very clearly. I can zoom in a little bit. That needs to be fixed, but whatever. These names, or some of these terms, they will be associated with glossary entries that will show up as a tooltip, and that'll be cool. And then each person, again, that where it says tooltip there at the top, that shouldn't be there. But Professor Celia Naylor went through every single one of the 208 people captured in this project, 208 enslaved persons at Rose Hall between 1817 and 1832, and wrote up these little profiles of all of them. And they vary in length depending on how much information there is, and it's just such an astonishingly richer project now for this kind of work, and it's just so exciting now. And this will be going live. End of July is probably very ambitious, but we are definitely in the closing aspects of it. Basically, what you see here is what you will end up with, and there are details, things that will change, etc. But basically, the big picture here is basically covered. So that's all super exciting, I think. And we will, again, this is the OG original Studio Remote project that Alex and I started. We started Studio Remote working on this project, so that was what now? That was in I think fall of 2019. And in that time, this project has come this far. And Alex is gone. Alex isn't at Columbia anymore. He just started a new job at Yale. So, yeah, things have been moving quickly in the 6 weeks I've been gone. So that's the Rose Hall project. We can close that and close this, and then go back to. And, oh, sorry, the Rose Hall project is an Ember project, as is the anti-rubber shooter, if that wasn't clear. But the back end for the anti-rubber shooter was originally just a simple little Express server doing some things, and then I thought I'd get clever and do it all with cloud functions and blah, 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 and now it's just impossible. Okay, so here we are back at, this is Rose Hall, so let's go back to Wander Text. And I have these two files that I never bothered committing, so let's look at what the changes are. Just adding a class. Wrapping this in.
21 rooms, but one will do.
Moving the modal content from this like modal component thingy, the index, into the actual index template in the route. So let's see how this looks. So, I know I jokingly said, like, what was I doing in May? Like, that's the what it says up there. And, you know, because every stream, the metadata is copied over from the previous stream, I do know that the last stream's logline or tagline or whatever was get rid of modals. And I know I just showed you the Rose Hall project that has a modal. I did not have 100% creative control over that project. That's okay. But here I do, so I can make decisions like I don't want modals. So the glitch with the no modals is, well, what do you have? Where did I close that browser? Okay, okay, this doesn't look terrible, but the idea was then to have, when you open this on, oh man, now I do wish I took some kind of notes or something. Yawning up a storm. Okay, so this is largely what I wanted. What happens if I press the menu button? Okay, the menu button wipes everything away. I think. Okay, I can dig how that looks. And maybe excuse me. There could be more content here, but I don't have to fuss about that too much now. This looks wrong. Excuse me. The mic button came in handy. Or the mute mic button came in handy. Okay, so now we have the potential for content here. Like this is actually, you know, I really wasn't planning on doing this way, but this may be important because the lack of the modal, I didn't ever really think through all the details of how this would work without the modal. Okay, so back in the Figma days when we were starting with WonderText, I had all these mobile first types of drawings set up. So it started with a modal. Bad news bears. Oh, also this is blue, it's not white like it is on the current app. And this looks a little bit different. We can compare this with what we have. So again, this is blue, and we can compare how these look. It's close, not quite the same. For some reason, I liked having this be all in lowercase. I'm not against it compared to all uppercase. I don't know. But so. Now that I've gotten rid of the modal, what happens here instead? And one answer to that is that we get, so on mobile, it's just that we get this. So I would replace that with, actually this should have that blue, that would be easy to do. That would be pretty good looking, I think. And I probably talked about this in the last stream too. Like, what is exactly the point of this map here? The original idea, or in previous versions of this app, what it did was it like loaded the whole database. Which is cool because you can be like, oh, there's so much data here. But also, that's a lot of lifting for the index page. I think that the database that I currently have, I don't remember the details, but I think it's something like, it's literally thousands of places. So it's returning literally thousands of records to populate this map that's like completely, it's like a non sequitur. Like, okay, cool to see all of the different places that are, in this little corner of the US here in this example. Like, okay, that's cool to see, but then so what? and also the hilarity of the Hudson River seemingly being covered over by mountains here, and how Manhattan is part of like glued to Jersey here. Somehow the East River is like really fat, but the Hudson is not, whereas in the real world they're about the same width.
And in walks Romeo, he's moaning.
Either way,
You belong to me, I believe.
So again, the actual value, the point of this map has disappeared for me. And I think that this is an opportunity to rethink precisely what I want to have happen here. And not having the map, so getting rid of the map is definitely a perfect solution. So the issue here, I'm obviously talking to myself always on this stream, but what I'm trying to talk through is
I feel so afraid.
like, okay, content. This is
She already is
1/6 of the area of this page.
For her, death is quite romantic.
The content. What do I do with all the rest of the space? So I think that this is a trap. This is a trap because I'm designing for desktop, or I'm looking at what this looks like on desktop right now, and if I agree that this map is useless, then all I see is the 5/6 of this page that are completely being unused. So instead, let's switch over to Figma and let's effectively bin this, because I'm not going to use the map anymore. So I don't want to like delete it. Or do I want to delete it? Or is this a component? Welcome card.
This way an hour ago, with his friend, the jealous monk. Whoa, he looked so immaculately frightful as he bombed a cigarette.
So index has a fab and then it has a map. But I don't want a map.
Oh, you
I
wouldn't
want
think to look at him, but he was famous long ago for playing electric violin on Desolation Road. Now the moon, it's almost hidden. The stars are beginning to hide. The fortune-telling ladies already taken all the things inside, all except for Cain and Abel and the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I kind of think
Everybody's either making love or else expecting rain. He's dressing, he's getting ready for the show. He's going down
okay.
to the carnival tonight.
so. I think that's right. It should have the nav bar, but it should. There are all these options I can have here. So the first icon should be.
Dr. Phil, he
I
keeps
hide
his world
this. No.
inside of a leather
No.
cup.
Show.
And all his
Hide.
sexless
There we go.
patients. They're
And
all
then
trying to
keep
blow
the hamburger menu,
his
but then in
nurse,
frame 1,
some local loser.
hide this, but show this.
She's in charge of the cyanide hole. And she also keeps the cards that read, "Have mercy on his soul." They'll play on the penny whistle. Yes, you can hear them blow. If you lean your head out far enough, Desolation Road. Across the street, they've nailed the curtains. They're getting ready for the feast. The Phantom of the Opera, in the perfect image of a priest. They're spoon-feeding Casanova to get him to feel more assured. Then they'll kill him with self-confidence after poisoning him with words. And the Phantom shouting to skinny girls, get out of here if you don't know. Casanova's just being punished for going to Desolation Row. Now at midnight, all the agents and this superhuman crew go and round up everyone who knows more than they do. Then they take them to the factory where the heart attack machine strapped across their shoulders in the kerosene was brought down from the castles by insurance men who go make sure nobody's escaping to Desolation Row. Praise be to Nero's Neptune. The Titanic sails at dawn. And everybody's talking about which side are you on. As they're pounding T.S. Eliot, they're fighting in the captain's tower, while Calypso singers laugh at them and fishermen hold flies between the windows of the sea where lovely mermaids flow. And no one has to think too much about Desolation Row. Yes, I received your letter yesterday about the time the doorknob broke. When you asked how I was doing, was that some kind of joke? All these people that you mentioned, yes, I know that they're quite lame. Had to rearrange their faces, give them all another name. Right now, I can't read so good. Don't send me no more letters, no. Not unless you send them from Desolation Road. just what to choose. It goes to show you don't ever know.
Hug and hug.
Got to play and play it slow. Wait until that deal come round. Don't you let that deal go down, no, no. Gambling here about 10 good solid years. If I talked about all that went down, it would burn on both your little ears. Don't show you don't ever know. Watch each card you play and play it slow. Wait until that deal come round. Don't you let that deal go down, no, no. Had to leave you sitting back composing on some blues. Goes to show you don't ever know. Watch each card you play and play it slow. Wait until that deal come round. Don't you let that deal go down, no, no. Since it comes about to win, even more lose. You and me better spend some time just wondering what to choose. Show you don't ever know. Watch each card you play and play it slow. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down.
So the issue here is that, so I created this info card component, and then I think the index card, I can't, what the mistake I'm making here is I can't remember how to copy paste as now. There's a way to change the components so that or to make it kind of like, not a descendant component, because I think that that's a variant, but to just like take the way that this component looks, because the thing of it is that this is 320 by hug, right? And it has a certain bit of padding on the sides, But if I want to add, so if I go to the index card, so that's up here. If I want to bring this log line, you know, maybe I can do that here. So I can try to see it. Change this from log line to header. And then I can get the info card and I can put it above here, just like that. Header, so I can do this. So this is this is just hug and fill, and whereas this one I can do fill and hug. Perfect. And then what I should actually do to be totally slick is I should create a new component called header. So now I have this thing here called header, and then we turn this into a component. Do I not have a header already? Signs point to no. So I change this to a component, or I create a component out of it. Excellent. And then this has this little text, and now I can change this to header text. And then I can do
Don't you let that deal go down.
Add variant. Perfecto. And then I can call this logline. I can call this default. And then I can, this I guess is the default one, so I can just type in default header. And then I can go, let's zoom out a little bit. And drag this. Does this work this way? Let's keep this for a little bit. And then paste. See, like, this this is a component, so it came from somewhere, or, you know, down here somewhere. And now I should be able to... Let's ask the internet. So like this. A component can exist as
shining, birds are winging, no rain is falling from a heavy sky. What do you want me to do for you to see you through? For this is all a dream we dream. One afternoon gonna go.
So I need to create an instance.
Some corner where it's been waiting to meet you. What do you want me to do? To watch for you while you're sleeping. Well, please don't be surprised when you find me dreaming too.
This is so goofy. I feel nope, that just copies it. Nope, that just adds a variant.
See another day.
See, like the data, these are definitely like components inside components inside components. There's no doubt. But I'm just being exceptionally dense and can't figure out how to do this one. Let's just move this over here. Frame 3, I don't know, gear 4, but we probably don't need you.
It's all a dream we dream.
Nope, that just aligns it.
Walk into splintered sunlight, you and me get dreams to another land.
Ta-da! Okay. So now I go up here, and then I change this to be...
To do for you, to see you through. The box of rain will ease the day, and love will see you through. Just a box of rain, wind and water. Believe it if you need. box of rain. I don't know who is there. Believe it if you need it. If you believe it, if you dare. Yes, it's just a box of rain or a river for your hair. Such a long, long time to be gone, and a short time to be there.
Okay, so now I just copy the info card and then I go back to designs.
Love your name and nights and wind. Look to where the river's in, or where the river starts. And everything that's in you, you feel to be your part. Never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish
Okay, so this is boring. I managed to remember how to use Figma, so that's a plus. But this is just boring. Oh wait, this shouldn't be the default header, this should be the log line. The whole point.
Learn to speak. Speak with wisdom like a child, directly to the heart. Crown yourself the king of clowns, don't stand way back apart. Never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. Shun a friend, shun a brother or a friend. Never look,
Okay, I need to
never look
take
around
my break
or check the weather.
so that I can kind of think about this outside of
Mona Lisa with a spray
Jerry
can
singing
call it
about
art.
freaking Mona
Never
Lisa.
give your love, my friend,
So I will be back in a bit.
unto a foolish heart.
Excuse me. I could have muted that.
Unto a foolish heart. A foolish heart will call on you, draw your dreams away, turn on you and blame you for the way things.
Alright, see y'all in a little bit.
A foolish heart will cause you sleep, and often make you curse. A foolish heart is trouble, but a foolish heart is worse. foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. Apart. Not the coals of paradise, but the coals of hell to start. Never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart. Unto a foolish heart. To a foolish heart. To a foolish heart. Build your side of bed. The covers were still warm where you've been led. You were gone. My heart was filled with dread. You might not be sleeping here again. But it's alright, 'cause I love you. That's not gonna change. Run me around, make me hurt again and again. But I'll still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. Pray the storm to come, for it surely looks like rain. Did you ever waken to the sound of street cats making love? And guess from their cries you were listening to a flame. Well, you know, he's just the last thing they're thinking of. They're only trying to make it through the night. Fence you in the lines I might have drawn. It's just a night I've gotten used to having you around. My landscape would be empty if you were gone. But it's alright, 'cause I love you. That's not gonna change. Run me around, make me hurt again and again and again. But I'll still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. The storm to come, for it surely looks like rain. Yes, and bear the storm to come, for it surely looks like rain. Looks like rain. Say it again, here comes the rain. Turning gray, it looks like rain. Here come the rain. Say it again, here come the rain. Turning gray, it looks like rain. Believe it's gonna rain today. Believe it's gonna rain today. Turning gray, it looks like rain, and here it come again. Believe it's gonna rain today. today, if it's gonna rain today. All my life I've seen rain, I've seen rain. Here we come again. Truth and gray, it looks like rain today. All my life I've seen rain and I've seen rain. Rain. Here we come again. Here come the rain. One more thing, I can't stand it no. 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 I can't stand the rain. I can't stand the rain. I can't stand the rain. No, can't stand the rain. I can't stand the rain. Can't stand the rain. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No, can't stand the rain. Can't stand the rain. Rain. I can't stand the rain. I can't stand it. No. All my life I've seen rain and I've seen rain. Here come again. Here come the rain. It's turning rain, it looks like rain. Here come again. Here come the rain. Here come the rain. All my life I've seen rain and I've seen rain. Here come again. Here come again. All my life I've seen rain, I've seen rain. Here come again. 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 Here come again.
Flow, talking rhymes, just feed the rhythm that will not forsake me till my tale is told and done. While the fire lights are glow, same shadows and the flames will grow to things we've never seen will seem familiar. Sailor for me is both foul and feral swarm. Down in Carlisle, he loved a lady many years ago. Here beside him stands a man, a soldier from the looks of him, who
I'm back. You know what it occurred to me? Y'all ain't here to watch me mess with Figma. What goes on the front page of this site, app, whatever you want to call it, is totally okay to put off until later, to think about at a later date. No real functionality is going to be on there. There's going to be links to things. So let's switch back over to the computer and quit Figma. Okay, that was fun. I mean, it's always nice to learn software that you halfway learned 2 years ago to learn it again. I actually was on a meeting today where there was talk of my doing bringing Figma back into the fold with the other stuff. Anyway, so let's go to Zen.
Strategy was strength, not disaster.
Okay, so why just go blah blah blah. So let's just create a new epic figure out index page. Let's just call it home page. That's unnecessarily technical. Now that we're rid of the model,
that's how it stands today. You decide if he was wise.
Rid of the map on the home. It's a little bit bigger on the home page. What on earth should we put on there? Welcome the user. Enhancement. Why not? Help wanted. Okay. So that's that. And from the Figma thing, it was clear that there were still a couple little stylistic things that weren't quite right in the department of coloring, etc. But that's okay. I don't have to worry about that. So where did we end here? So we have 8 new issues here, and in progress we have build out data layer, construct list and list item, have show locations and or place with related tap not on the map transitions route with highlight has hidden white background that you only see when is highlight. Figure out pop-ups for list item map and nonce new place. Alright, I don't want to do that. I remember that one. Style buttons. I got rid of the buttons on the old front page, I think. Yeah, this close here. This is gone. We're not going to do this anymore, so I don't need this close button. So I can put that off too. Let's move this to... applying to icebox. Don't have to worry about that now. Create view for single entity. This one I like. Okay, build a component for an entity that lets you reproduce the functionality across the different data types, the models, and the app. So actually, this is an intriguing place to move forward, because there's something perverse about the way that the models work in the in how I describe things here. So this is currently just to remind everybody, and I think I can do this by going over to GitHub. Oops, Wander text docs. So I have like the schema here, right? So there's a contributor, there's an entry property, a flag, and a text. So this, and a place, sorry. So this is all sort of designed around this kind of idea of a relational database. But there are, that's a bit of an assumption, especially since I will likely be doing this, going back to my good old friend, Fire Store, which is a flexible, scalable, NoSQL cloud database. So why am I thinking of this in terms of, let me zoom in a little bit. So why am I thinking about this in terms of the relationality? Because part of the whole purpose of doing things this way is that the models are somewhat flexible, especially in terms of what sorts of properties a specific type of, let me go back here just to remind everybody. So contributor we don't have to worry about. But like the central thing of WanderText is the entry, where if we imagine WanderText as a collection of geospatial data sets, the entry is the row, right? And each entry belongs to a specific text, and as a result of that, it will have specific properties. So there's a very good example of this. If you've ever had to do a fantasy baseball auction or draft, then you will have dealt with this issue, which is that you have pitchers and you have batters, and they have different stats. So how do you account for both? One option is you have 5 columns that are for the batters, and then 5 columns and then the next 5 columns are for the pitchers, like if you're using projected stats or something. And so then you have like this one sheet with all of the available players in the same sheet. But then you can't really get a sense of, you have to do weird stuff if you're going to try and figure out if a projected ERA, well, K through 9 usually was what was the most useful statistic in my old league. You have to do some, like K through 9 is not obvious. You can't do standard deviations and averages, whatever, because you have all this empty data, all those blank cells. So then you're tempted to have pictures in one sheet and then batters in the other sheet. But then it's tricky to keep track of who's actually available, and you can end up just looking at the batter sheet the whole time and forgetting that you need pitchers, or forgetting that or not noticing that a certain pitcher hasn't been picked or bid on or whatever. So this is a similar problem here. Like it's different in the case that we will never be looking at all of the entries at once. I can't imagine a use case for that. But it is the case that every entry will have, so here you have the second thing here, properties JSON, just a random JSON object. all properties have, or all entries have a couple properties that they expect to have. Attested name, note, blah, blah, created, you know, these things. Then they belong to certain things. I guess, did I write this like a GraphQL? Yeah, I wrote this like a GraphQL schema. And you have, and every entry, that's what the exclamation point here means. Every entry has to have a text and it has to have a place, but then there's just sort of just this properties. It's just like, yeah, you know, who knows? And then there's this really sort of middle person table called the entry property table, which has a list of all the property types that could end up in the properties JSON object. So a text this is bad. This should belong to a text. Every entry property has to have a text. No, because like page is an entry property but is not specific to a text. Yeah, jeez. This is all so complicated. I'm yawning up a storm, so I don't know, maybe it's hurting my head. I shouldn't have come back after 6 weeks and gone straight into a 2-hour stream. It's too much. Let me have some water. Okay, so here we have the old database. Wowzers. So I have it set up like a relational database. So this is blah, 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 blah. So I built this out. I mean, this is all stuff from 4 years ago, from 2018. Or early 2019. So I have a bunch of this is flags. So if we look at places, I mean, this probably just scrolls, because there are so many things here, and I think that like this is a reasonably good way to set up. What am I talking about? So it looks like I can only have one database open. Okay, so it looks like there's only I can only have one database open per Firebase project. So I have this WanderText project here, blah blah blah. Here's the real database, and that's probably what WanderText Dev is. This is a made up. It's a copy of the database that works in the same way. So this is also Blaze. Okay, excellent. So that's kind of a sneaky way around it. I would prefer not doing it that way. But now we have this all tricked out and set up this way. Okay, so the reason that I'm here on the Firebase stuff is because I started talking. So Firebase is NoSQL. You know, I can add whatever field I want, whatever text. You know, they have contributors, entries. You know, who even cares? Text properties, page, and sequence. You know, all this kind of stuff, right? But it may not be, you know, maybe like what I'm curious about is to know whether putting the things in these kinds of collections is a smart move or is sort of the appropriate move, because in this way these collections end up being just sort of like, let me turn down the music a little bit. The collections end up being sort of just like they're just pretend tables. So I'm back into having kind of a relational database. I'm just sort of faking it. So what I'm curious about, when I started typing in Firebase, you maybe saw that I had Firebase Firestore. I stumbled upon this add-on that Chris Garrett, a prolific contributor to the Ember community, put together as part of a talk from 2021 at EmberConf. Firestore. Where an app in this talk, Chris put together an app about making created an app about making a recipe or a calorie counter. I can't remember which one it was. Type of app. Meal plans, Ember meal plans. Okay. Demonstrate how to use Ember M3 alongside Firebase. You can use this app by cloning it. So that's just Firebase type stuff. But what's intriguing here is this thing that's Ember M3. And I know that this is like exactly what you don't want, which is just to be constantly chasing new infrastructure. But like that's also part of the point, and if we end up with a stronger product because of it, then maybe it makes sense. So what this would be, Ember M3, it's kind of something that is a bit more, I keep wanting to say polymorphic, but I don't think that's the right word. So let's look it up. Okay, I am having big time focus issues, and so I think I'm going to bail. This is a lot to switch to, this Ember M3 type stuff. I should think this through a little bit. I thought I was going to just work on the index page, and then during the break I was like, no, that's a waste of time. And now I need to sort of get my head in a place where I can work on the start implementing the data thing and go back to see what I already have in Firestore, to see what how this kind of stuff all works together. I mean, you know, basically do the sort of 8 hours or whatever of preparation for the stream that I should have done to remember what on earth I've like the things that I've learned in the last 6 weeks and how things have been going, etc., etc. But now it just feels like I'm just pushing a ball around or something. So I'll play out the music because, you know, why not? It's a good listen. And then I will see you all next week when hopefully I'll have something more productive available in terms of a stream. So I will see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy, you know, this bizarro 1989 second set. Ciao.
Coming around, y'all. Coming around. Coming around, y'all. Coming around.
my lightning will. Won't you try to There's no need for you to be worrying about all those people. You never see those people anyway. Walk you out in the morning to walk me out in the morning dew, my honey. Walk me out in the morning dew today. Walk you out in the morning to my I guess it doesn't matter anyway. I guess it doesn't matter anyway. I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
Thank you.